Two choices. It's illegal what the local authority have done. Two choices. You either appeal to tribunal. Don't waste time with mediation, just go straight to tribunal. I'd probably even be tempted to put it in for a paper tribunal. You know, you probably don't need to turn up and argue it if it's that cut and dried that they have just ignored. They will, local authorities suddenly remember what the law says once it's in the tribunal process. They will then make the amendments, but it will take time, and they will play game of chicken with you. They'll hold off and see whether you're serious and see whether you're going to do it. We will be running an event. With the event, we'll run through the events we've got coming up. We're doing an event on a B&F appeal, which will talk you through exactly how to do it. It'll be a 3-session event because we'll look at different parts on different days. That's the first option. The second option is to kind of play the long game. Just give it a go. Just accept it, but don't accept it. Take the EHCP, go into school, gather your evidence, work with the school, and at the first annual review, start to chip off, you know, which key ones do you want to improve? Work with the school to get them improved. And then the next annual review, work on a few more, and slowly over time. It depends. What we've said about getting a section F right, you don't have to be totally pedantic about it. You know, you can be a bit flexible. You can be a bit like, okay, I'll let that go. But there will be key things in there.
Isn't it? I mean, if you have got something that you think, okay, I can concede on this, I'll allow this particular one to go, but I'm certainly not going to let this one go because this is too important to my child being able to access their education. And like you say, that you can take that to annual review, but at the same time, don't expect annual review to suddenly turn around and go, oh yes, of course you can, we'll do that now, we'll just put it in. You might still have to go to appeal, but sometimes we have parents who are just so emotionally, physically exhausted on every single level that just the thought of going to appeal, and they may have had to go to appeal for refusal to assess, refusal to issue, and then doing that all over again is just too much. And then we say to them, what you're going to have with this EHCP is going to be better than you had before. It's better than nothing. And if you really cannot face taking this to the next step right now, and this particular, I think Anna does it particularly applies if your child is still in primary school, they're in the early stages, then you can have a bit more flexibility on that. And as you do that, you're still building up your evidence as to why you're saying what you're saying and why you're saying to them, but this isn't meeting needs, this isn't enough, because you're proving it. I mean, Anna says all the time, unfortunately, you have to, it's almost, you know, your child has got to fail before they get the support.
Yeah. I know I've got lots of phrases, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't expect your first EHCP to be perfect. It is a work in progress. Appeal is your route, but you don't have to do it. You know, it's back to that old, you know, you put your oxygen mask on before you help other people. You've got to check your energy levels, your capacity levels. There's no point putting in an appeal. It's an exhausting process, and you going under and it destroying you. You know, if you've got the capacity and the drive to get an appeal in now, do it. If not, live with the EHCP as it is, see how it goes, get to your first annual review. After every annual review, you have a new right of appeal. So you could use the next year, gathering your evidence, you know, looking after yourself, doing your research, get yourself in a really good position, knowing full well after the next annual review in a year's time, you are going to put in your appeal then. There's no right or wrong. And we can go section F, section F, section F, got to be right, appeal. But you know yourself, your capacity, your family, your situation. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Remember that.
The EHCP, particularly your first one, is a foundation, and each time you go through your annual review, each time you go ready for phase transition, it's a building block up to the next step. And you know, it's really heartbreaking when we speak to parents and they are extremely upset, and then they feel really bad about being upset, which is what our latest blog's about. But it's you're doing everything you possibly can. That's why you're with us. You know, we know that. We absolutely know that you're doing everything possible. That's why you're here.